Moments that left me speechless on paternity court.
Why are you so sure Mr. Johnson is Paris's biological father when you are admitting in court right now?
I am so thankful you were smart enough to find your way to this courtroom. Being an overprotective father where he was...
he wouldn't even let me call my mom on Mother's Day.
It was.
After a ton of accusations, denials, and drama, Miss Amos was taking Mr. Johnson to court over a paternity puzzle involving her 2-month-old daughter. Hold on to your seats, folks, and get ready for some serious DNA drama.
You claim he needs to step up once you prove that he is Paris's father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Johnson, you testify that the plaintiff is a liar and a cheater who knows you are not her child's father.
Let's dive into the love saga, or should I say, lack of it? Mr. Johnson allegedly does zilch for Paris, claiming she might not be his spawn. Furthermore, he spilled the tea on text messages from mystery guys, which then led to the moment she found out she had bun in the oven. Now what reaction accompanied that news, huh?
I have my serious doubt that the baby's not mine. I done seen text messages on her phone from other guys saying, is you coming with me again tonight? I enjoyed myself. His name saved under a female name.
So, after swatting away the pregnancy bomb like a mosquito, the hurtful rejection echoed through the relationship. Ouch. It appears mommy had been fed up with daddy's playing with her, so she decided to give him a taste of his own medicine. No words for this stunt pulling.
All right, so let me see the next part of this timeline. You say, Mr. Johnson, she announces the pregnancy.
She tell me she pregnant.
When I told him that I was pregnant,
Now, Miss Amos landed smack dab in the middle of troubled waters. However, she managed to reach safety by claiming her tryst with the other dude was not during the wondrous time of conception. Now, the real question was whether this other possibility knew he might have a kid out here. Let's find out.
Why are you so sure Mr. Johnson is Paris's biological father when you are admitting in court right now?
I mean, me and the other guy, we had unprotected sex, but, majority of the time we was, using...
A condom?
Yes, ma'am.
Dear Lord, Missy had all the time to play the revenge game. But when the time came to put on big girl pants, she ran from her responsibility. However, she brought along a witness to support her claim, which she did, but had an eye-opening revelation amidst the court proceeding too.
All right, so now, do you think your cousin, Mr. Johnson, is Paris's biological father?
Absolutely. She looks just like his other 2 kids.
So you have no doubt?
The information that she gave today, that was new to me, so of course...
Enter the next supporting cast, Miss Johnson, big sister of the defendant, and she had her version of the truth. By the looks of it, baby mama had told her something else entirely. In the heat of the moment, though, we're in for a courtroom showdown of epic proportions.
Your brother testified that you witnessed Miss Amos with other guys.
I did. She don't know who I know.
And not only that, she told me out her own mouth, this is not your brother's baby.
Up till now, only one kid's paternity was under question. However, Ms. Johnson claimed she suspected the oldest kid's paternity as well. Lauren Lake had her work cut out for her, so she went cracking. And boy, did she get to the bottom of the truth. Prepare to be speechless, people.
So you were having sex with somebody else?
I was.
During the time you found out you were pregnant with London?
I was.
And there is a paternity question surrounding that child as well.
Correct.
Moving on from that heartbreaking revelation, it was only fair we get to the nitty-gritty of mommy's relationship with the other guy now, since their cozy equation had been going on for quite a long time. Man, Ms. Amos was full of surprises.
It was pretty much a relationship.
Yes.
That you were having outside of the relationship you had with Mr. Johnson.
Yes, I've been actually knowing him before I met him.
Guy, has this other person, has he ever met London?
Yeah, he met her.
About time we draw the curtain on this paternity showdown. Will it be a double dose of daddy drama, or will the clouds of uncertainty finally clear? The key to the truth was in the envelope. Here goes nothing.
Mr. Johnson, you are the father.
I'm happy he's the father, but I feel like our relationship can't be worked on, can't be replaced. He don't want me. He's not in love with me.
Mr. Fields and Ms. Nicholson were here in the paternity court with a tale of lies, cheating, and the ultimate question of daddy drama. Buckle up, because this ride is about to take some unexpected turns that are bound to leave you dumbfounded.
Mr. Fields, you state you were here for the sake of your 1-year-old son.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim the defendant has lied to you, cheated on you, and even told you herself that you are not the child's father.
Time to spill the tea, folks. These guys were like Bonnie and Clyde of relationship chaos. Baby daddy calls the mommy a liar and a cheater, while the defendant fired back with receipts of her own. It's a drama-filled sitcom, but unfortunately, no laugh track to ease the tension.
Tyrell's the one who's the liar. He's the one who's the cheater. He sends me videos, pictures. I've seen text messages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. There's proof that he's cheating. I also have a video stating that
Okay, Your Honor. And I've told her everything. I've told her even before I've done such a thing.
Boy, that receipt was indeed some implicating evidence. And his justification? He did it out of anger. Come on, man. Surely you can do better than that. It's just both these guys defending themselves against each other's accusations.
Why would you send that video to her phone?
Your Honor, I did it out of anger, and I told her that I was going to cheat because she said she was going to cheat. Your Honor, just this morning before we got here hours ago, she told me that she slept with another man, and she took my son to go see him last week, and that's actually his dad.
So the conception dates weren't adding up in the plaintiff's math. So Mommy Charisse fought back, challenging the dates and revealing the chaos surrounding their intimate life. Mommy claimed he was insecure. Daddy claimed she was a manipulator, and so on it goes.
I believe is that child's father. He did a sexual gesture to her in front of my face, and she pretended like she didn't see it. That's the same dude that called her phone the same night I went to go pick her up from her house.
Next up, Mr. Fields' insecurity met Miss Nicholson's defiance. And Viola, a chaotic dance of desperation. The question remains, though, who's responsible for this paternity puzzle? As everyone in there had something to say, apparently.
Along with her sister saying that she's a cheater and that boy is not mine.
So now her family member told you.
That's correct. 2 family members, her cousin and her sister, said that baby is not mine.
Now, Mommy claimed that the defendant wanted to believe her, but was easily persuaded by others. And by those others meant family, friends, and co-workers. Yep, the plaintiff had more supposed instances to share. Prepare to be at a loss for words.
believe it because his insecurities are telling him not to believe it.
Well, Charisse, why do I not believe it?
Because of yourself. You're insecure.
Why am I insecure?
You told me that you were the same way with your ex-girlfriend.
Why am I insecure?
You're insecure because you think that I'm cheating.
Well, baby daddy had all these wild accusations just flying about, and no proof to back them up. But no worries, he did come with a conception calendar, and he was prepared to reveal all its secrets. Cue the dramatic gasps.
4 weeks. It's right during the week where you believe she was having sex with the coworker.
Yes, not to mention we weren't having sex at all around that time.
Oh, the emotions were running high, with both parties drowning in the weight of their fractured relationship. And believe me when I say, it was fractured as heck. Yep, they fought as if they were standing in the living room and not in the middle of the paternity court.
Not to mention I've been there since the whole 9 months. I take care of my son. I do everything
Your Honor,
for him.
if he's doubting my kid, what sense? You're providing for him. Why are you providing for a child that you don't think is yours?
I told you that I'm going to provide for my son until I'm proven otherwise.
All right.
It was clear there were a lot of grievances between these guys. The way they kept throwing shade at each other. And all Judge could do was just watch as these ripped into each other and have ultimatums.
She took your son to see another man.
That's what
Your
she
Honor,
told me hours before we got here.
Nowhere near true. Nowhere near true.
So you didn't say that to him?
No.
What did you say?
I told him that it wasn't his. I didn't take him to see no other person.
But did
no
you
other father.
tell him you did?
Yeah, I told him.
The tension was palpable. But no worries, because the moment of truth was here. Time to spill the beans on whether this relationship had a future or not. All eyes were on the judge as she got ready to give the final verdict. Cue the mic drop.
Mr. Fields, you are his father. How do you feel now, Mr. Fields?
I feel awesome. I feel great. I'm still going to be the best father to him that I can be.
You always knew this.
Who knew in a mere couple months, the relationship of a lifetime would start being questioned? Well, that happened to Ms. Garnett when Daddy Dearest started singing the I'm Not Your Father song after all these years. Get ready for the drama, DNA, and a whole lot of who's your daddy?
Ms. Garnett, you and your mother, Ms. Miller, have opened your case to prove to the defendant that he is your biological father and state his doubt is unwarranted and demand an apology once the results are revealed. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's rewind to when this daddy-daughter duo was thicker than thieves, or so it seemed. This family tree started looking more and more like a twisted vine, and that too in just a couple of months. It appears after being estranged for some time, Mr. Langston only managed to send a message, and that too in a not-so-civil manner.
So after
almost 2 years of reaching out to my father after visiting him in 2015. I pleading to get him to respond. He finally responded with this message.
Ouch! That was certainly not an honorable way to drop that kind of bomb. Imagine being called out on your parentage via SMS. Yeesh! However, the emotional roller coaster had left the station, and it was headed straight for the betrayal boulevard.
Miss Garnett, you grew up as a daddy's girl. You say he's your best friend.
He's always been my dad. I've always known him to be my dad. When I became an adult around 21 years old, that's when we started really becoming close.
Time to see how this ultimate parenting conundrum came to be in the first place. The defendant had a couple issues with the mama, and these doubts had been nagging him since then. Took him long enough to figure this out, huh?
One day, she used to live out south. I came through the back. Her auntie downstairs let me in. I walked upstairs. I didn't knock on the door. I looked in. I see this guy sitting on the couch with her, like he running this game to get up on something.
Next on the menu was the navigation through the maze of conception confusion. The baby daddy narrated another suspicious encounter with a supposed cousin. What was up with this family, huh? The fog thickens as doubts about fidelity swirl, leaving us all questioning the credibility of these family ties.
You did that, you told me
who
that.
you're
I
talking
swear
about.
on my dead father you did that and saved
Wait a
that
minute,
to me.
who is this?
Well, get up off of that.
So wait a minute, Mr. Langston. When was this that you confronted her?
And why is it that you're just saying something?
I was talking to her on the phone.
Well, it was just getting clearer and clearer. There were a ton of underlying issues at play here, and this mystery being more than 3 decades old didn't help this case either. But both parties seem determined now.
When the baby was born, Miss Garnett, did Mr. Langston participate in the birth?
Not at all. He didn't have, he was just not that type of person. I didn't even expect him to.
Did he sign the birth certificate?
No.
I paid child support. Now,
Enter the realm of legal documents and whatnot. A birth certificate surfaced, but alas, Daddy's name was nowhere to be found. And yet he claimed he had been paying child support for 20 long years. Cue the courtroom gasps and the collective, "What did I just hear?"
Your Honor, he was thinking that it's a possibility that she wasn't his. I took myself to a hospital and I had a DNA test done. He never followed up. For him not to turn around and follow up, and I thought it was the end of it when he didn't follow through.
Next up, the daughter narrated the moment she got that message and the feelings that came afterward. It was a life-changing revelation, and her and Daddy connecting and having similar personality traits in the past just got crushed under this boulder.
I was devastated. I felt like he was taking my identity away from me because I've always known I was a Langston. And I have so much about my father. When he came back into my life when I was an adult, it was like a piece of the puzzle was missing.
Well, if the daughter gets to share her side of the story, Mr. Langston wanted that time as well. He had to share his version, and why did it take so long to get this done? That was the $1,000,000 question, right?
when I had that phone and did that text, it crushed me when I pushed that button, because I know what the effect was going to have on her. And I don't want to send her through that, because I love her.
Oh, the defendant had officially lost his mind, or so the mommy-daughter duo believed. Ms. Garnett posted her picture and her grandfather's pictures on Facebook in a desperate attempt to find similarities, what the popular opinion claimed they had. However, that led the father to take a different turn with his accusations that left everyone speechless, to say the least.
After the text message, I did some soul searching. I was just laying in my bed looking through my phone, and I saw a picture of myself, this picture, and it reminded me of this picture of my grandfather. This is Mr. Langston's father.
Finally, we've reached the climax, and it's time for the much-anticipated DNA results. As the tension built, the truth was ready to be unveiled. The decades-long haunting mystery was either going to be solved today or take a whole other direction.
Mr. Langston, you are not the father. He is not her biological father.
Now don't look at me. Ask her who your daddy really is.
Brace yourselves, paternity folks, for a roller coaster of love, doubt, and unexpected connections. Because Miss Brown and Mr. Rutledge were in a paternity battle over the 1-year-old baby girl. Get ready for the courtroom showdown of the century.
Ms. Brown, you say the only thing that matters to you today is the future of your 1-year-old daughter, Sanaya.
Yes, Your Honor.
You state you're here to prove the defendant, Mr. Rutledge, is her biological father.
We are about to enter the domain of questionable romance, where these guys' relationship wasn't exactly a fairy tale. It's a saga involving cousins, brothers, and a daughter caught in the middle. and conveniently leaving out quite a few details.
Well, first of all, me and Ms. Brown was never in a relationship. It was only sexual relationship. I met Ms. Brown from, she was seeing my cousin, they was dating.
Well, the doubts and reservations were running pretty deep over here, but no worries, because baby mama went on a long rant justifying all her actions. And boy, did she make good points. The judge, along with the rest of the court, could just sit there tight-lipped and listen.
As far as me having one-night stands and all that with his cousins, if he felt that I had one-night stands with his cousin or his brother, why would you turn around and have unprotected sex with me? Before we started even messing with each other, because we had mutual friends.
Moving on from that monologue, we jumped straight into another one. Oh yeah, because the supposed baby daddy had the gall to question mommy's version. And yep, she was not having it. Discover the unexpected twist in the tale as Miss Brown reveals the details of how she ended up pregnant.
But I need to ask you, when you were looking for love in all the wrong places and you were maybe being a little more sexually promiscuous than you are now,
right?
Was this at all during the window of conception?
No.
So that he could maybe be doubtful about the paternity?
No.
Next up, we were about to step into the whirlwind of confusion and desperation surrounding the window of conception. The parties involved were drowning in uncertainty, conflicting stories, and a questionable relationship status. The defendant's reaction? Priceless.
All right, so you told his sister first.
Yes.
How did that conversation go?
I just told her I was pregnant. She kind of was in shock and stuff, and she just let me know, like, you do know, like, if you decide to keep this baby, it's a chance that you're gonna go through it by yourself.
Well, Ms. Brown was hardly letting anyone speak. But hold on, because now it was Mr. Rutledge's turn to narrate his version. The classic. He said she said battle was going strong over here.
So, at that point, what real proof did you have to be doubtful?
I used to pick Jasmine up, Miss Brown, from dude's house. She be around me texting dudes. This is my friend, this is my homeboy, we just cool.
It appears the sister was more involved than the baby daddy in this whole chaotic mess, and her presence wasn't making things easier as well. Her comments, accompanied by the vile statements of the defendant, were fanning the paternity flames even more. No words for the conversations these guys were having.
Is this true? I have to ask you, Mr. Rutledge.
I'm gonna tell
you. Please don't tell this court you said something vile.
I would never say that. I have kids of my own. She said, I hope the baby died. I'm not gonna tell you what she told me about my kids.
Oh boy, the drama with these guys. It just kept heating up, and Ms. Rutledge was not done interfering yet. Nope. However, the plaintiff had her aunt on her side to back her up, which she did. If only things had remained calm and collected. Was that too much to ask for?
Ms. Brown, what do you understand about this situation?
Some stuff that she's saying not true, and a lot of stuff that they saying not true. Like, that's my niece, and I love her, but what's real is real. Like, and at the end of the day, I feel like if you know it's a possibility that this is your baby.
We have established that these guys had doubts, and they were standing by those claims too. So why not tackle this whole situation earlier? Why did they let things get this messy? Well, it seems the brother-sister duo had been MIA when that was supposed to take place.
It's not a lot of talking, but I just don't feel like we're getting anywhere.
It's a lot of drama with
these Jerome, it's like we're running into a brick wall over and over again, and I just keep thinking about Sanaya saying to myself, if I'm this frustrated, what kind of nonsense is this baby living in?
Hold your breath now, because the DNA test results were ready to be revealed. The tension was escalating, emotions running high, and the truth was about to hit like a plot twist. Who's the real baby daddy? Let's see.
Mr. Rutledge, it has been determined by this court that you are her father.
What? Now what? What y'all gotta say now? What do y'all gotta say now? Exactly. I thought that's what y'all had to say.
We are about to dive deep into a tale of family dysfunction. A daughter's $5,000 plea for emotional distress was clashing with a father's denial. Will the DNA results reveal the mystery or tighten the knot? Grab your popcorn, because here we go.
Ms. Barrett, you are suing the defendant for $5,000 in damages for emotional distress.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim that the man standing across from you helped destroy your childhood.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Meet Miss Barrett and Mr. Jones, a duo so defective, they made reality TV families look like textbook examples. He claimed to be a dad. She insisted he's a no-show. But oh, the twists. From missed birthdays to funeral fiascos, their saga was dramatic with a capital D.
Ms. Barrett, first, tell me about your lawsuit.
I'm here today because I can't stand this man. He hasn't been there for me at all in my life. He was never there, never wanted to go to any of my birthdays. He claims he did, but he didn't show up to any of my birthdays.
Picture this, a father doubting his daughter's lineage. While the daughter grappled with daddy issues, the defendant insisted he doubted her existence due to a mommy's teenage tryst. And so the suspicions began and left the daughter feeling broken and longing for paternal love.
And so all your life you believe Mr. Jones to be your biological father?
That's what I was told.
Is he on your birth certificate?
No, but I wrote his name on my birth certificate when I was like 7 because I was told he was my dad.
Moving on, the daughter unfolds her life, and we get a front row seat as we discover the sour notes in their relationship. Things took a much sour turn when Ms. Barrett claimed to be sold to her grandmother. Yeah, you heard that right. The harmony in their bond turned harsh long before the court stepped in.
Ms. Barrett's mother say she was your child, or did she say she may be your child?
She said she was my child, Your Honor.
Okay.
And then I took care of her from that day all the way up, Your Honor.
In this tangled web of familial drama, reasons for betrayal emerge. Ms. Barrett revealed her mom's alleged sale at 6 months, and Daddy Dearest counters with accusations of her mother's drug habits. Could this get more crazy? I sure hope not, but you never know with these people.
Ms. Barrett,
Bikes, the clothing.
did he ever say to you, to your face,
$300 purses.
He doubted whether or not you were his daughter?
Yes, he did.
He did?
He did say that he didn't think that I was his daughter. He also told my mom that. And he told my mom that he did not believe that I was his daughter.
Oh, navigating the sea of contradictions was getting harder and harder. Bet you thought there wouldn't be any more shocking revelations. Well, you couldn't be more wrong, because daughter threw another accusation at the father, which was beyond comprehension, to say the least. Literally at a loss for words here.
It was horrible. I lived with him for about a month. He was completely controlling. Completely. He treated me like his girlfriend, not his daughter. I was wearing a pair of Bermuda shorts.
What?
The Bermuda shorts, the long shorts, I was wearing those, and he claimed that I was looking like a...
Time to settle down the pleas these guys had against each other. Mr. Jones claimed to have been robbed by the daughter, and he had a whole story to explain the context of that allegation. And boy, were we all ears for that one.
I had to go do a couple errands. So I left them money to get them something to eat. So I was gone longer than what I figured I was gonna be gone. Well, I came back home. I unlocked the door, come inside. Well, her and her friend sitting in the living room, Your Honor.
Oh, the grievances these guys had with each other seemed to have no end. As the climax got nearer, the daughter came up with more questions for the beloved father. And then the notorious girlfriend stepped in. And yep, you guessed it right. Ms. Barrett had a problem with her too.
I went to her house with my 2 cousins, not 3 random guys.
And she was looking for me, Your Honor. That's when she thought I was at my daughter's, but I wasn't.
All this money he has, she was coming to my house to borrow money for a taxi.
She's lying.
The long-awaited DNA results were in. Finally, brace yourself for the bombshell, the reveal that will either shatter illusions or cement familial bonds. The truth lurks in the next chunk. Let's hear it, shall we?
Mr. Jones, you are her father. You were suing for damages of $5,000 for it was negligent infliction of emotional distress. And that hasn't been presented as well, okay?
Okay.
And for that reason, I have to dismiss your claim as well.
Okay, Your Honor.